Welcome to Premier League Match Pack, your weekly guide to all the stats that matter. With 2016 coming to a close, 180 games have been played so far this season. We're in the middle of a busy fixture period with matches coming thick and fast, meaning the overall goal tally now stands at 509. Tottenham Hotspur's victory over Southampton was the 24th comeback win this season, 10 of which have been in December alone. While Bob Bradley became the third Premier League manager to be dismissed after Alan Pardew and Francesco Guidolin went earlier in the campaign.
Chelsea's march towards a fifth Premier League title continues. A comfortable 3-0 Boxing Day victory over Bournemouth made it a club record 12th straight league win, extending their faultless finish to 2016. It's been a year of two halves for the Blues. Led into January by interim boss Gus Hiddink, the team struggled to turn in consistent performances over the tail end of the last campaign. But the new season provided a fresh start, and the men from Stamford Bridge are now averaging an extra point for every game they're playing. The upturn in fortunes is thanks in no small part to Antonio Conte. The Italian has made the best start of any new Premier League manager over his first 18 games in charge, with his energy and enthusiasm on the touchline reflected by his team on the pitch.
You have to see him live on a touchline at a game to see his passion, the energy that he puts into his team, and you can see why his team like to play for him, because he's running up and down that touchline. He kicks every ball for his team. He's driving his team forward. It's obvious that he's got such high standards. He demands nothing but the best from his team.
Trips to Liverpool and Chelsea were probably not too high on Stoke City's wish list for the festive period. In defeat at Anfield, Mark Hughes' side started brightly. The aim at Stamford Bridge will be to produce over 90 minutes.
Mark Hughes was always a player that never hid away from a challenge, always used to love the big occasion. And his teams played exactly the same way whenever they go to the Emirates or the Etihad or Old Trafford. They go to these places and play with lots of confidence because he's a brave manager, Mark Hughes, and he'll be going to Chelsea, one of his former clubs, and he'll be looking to cause them problems.
On paper, it looks a tough assignment for Stoke, but a good display from goalkeeper Lee Grant will be important if the Potters are to claim a positive result. The 33-year-old signed on loan as cover for the injured Jack Butland in the summer, and despite having no previous playing experience in the Premier League, has made the step up and really impressed.
They had a problem at the start of the season with Jack Butland going down. Obviously, he's the #1 keeper. Shay Given came in. The defence were letting in a lot of goals. And a lot of question marks were labelled at the goalkeeper. And Lee Grant's come in. I think one of his first games were at Old Trafford when he made some fantastic saves. And he's kept his position in the team.
Grant could, however, be severely tested by a rejuvenated Diego Costa. The forward sat out the last match due to suspension, but is available again and will be eager to continue his rich vein of form. He's not gone more than a game without finding the net this term and has already surpassed his tally for the whole of last season. Also in line for a return after serving a one-match ban is N'Golo Conte. It's been quite a year for the Frenchman, who played a pivotal part in Leicester City's title triumph and is now a key man at Chelsea. In fact, of all current Premier League players to have made at least 50 appearances, Conte has the highest individual win percentage.
You go to games and you see the work that he puts in off the ball, the positions he takes up, he fills in holes for everybody. He dispossesses and wins back possession so many times that I think he's been one of the best players in the season for me in the Premier League, and a lot of his work goes unnoticed.
Whoever lines up for the hosts, Stoke's record at Stamford Bridge suggests the visitors will do well to get a result. Until last season, the Potters had lost every trip to Chelsea in this division, while they've only managed 3 Premier League goals at the ground. History and form may favour the Blues, but can Hughes' men cause an upset?
There's a lot of games in a short space of time. There's teams rotating. You've got the travel, you've got all your family coming over. There's different issues going on over at Christmas, and sometimes you get freak results. But I've seen Chelsea a lot, and I don't see a team in the Premier League that play with the determination that Chelsea do. So I think it's going to be very difficult for Stoke.
After 85 days in charge, Swansea City parted ways with manager Bob Bradley following a poor run of results. He was dismissed after the side conceded 29 goals since he took over in October, leaving them with a real prospect of being relegated from the Premier League. They shipped 4 against West Ham United, and the manner of the loss, the third heavy beating inside 5 games, led to Bradley's departure. With 7 defeats in 11 matches since his arrival, the team picked up just 8 points out of a possible 33, leaving them just above bottom club Hull City on goal difference. The Welsh side now turn their attention to finding a new man to help maintain their top-flight status. But while the Swans have had trouble stopping goals going in, their New Year's Eve opponents Bournemouth have found it difficult to find the back of the net while on their travels. Of the 23 goals Eddie Howe's men have scored this season, only 7 have come away from the Vitality Stadium. There's little cheer at the Cherries as the year comes to an end, as they've lost 3 of their last 4 Premier League games, conceding 3 goals in each defeat. Their joyless festive season comes to an end on Saturday with another away trip. They've won only 1 of their 9 games on the road this season, but they could have a chance to put that right against a struggling Swansea side.
Olivier Giroud's late winner against West Bromwich Albion ended Arsenal's recent run of back-to-back defeats. However, with their title rivals all winning, they still have ground to make up. After a draw in his first game in charge of Crystal Palace, Sam Allardyce will be eager to turn their season around and move them away from the relegation zone.
It's easier said than done. That's why they brought someone in of his ability, someone of his personality, to get the best out of those players that are not only well regarded but well paid, and they need to be producing the kind of form that would see Palace in the top half of the table rather than looking nervously over the shoulders.
And the former Sunderland manager will surely use his experience to quickly address his side's defensive frailties, especially inside the box. This season, Palace have conceded 26 goals within their own penalty area, but the overall number they're shipping will be a major concern for their new boss. Allardyce will be looking to end poor personal form against the Gunners. He's only won 4 of the 25 games he's managed against Arsene Wenger's side. He's seen his teams concede 26 goals at the Emirates Stadium, which is the highest number for any opposing manager in the Premier League. He'll be motivated by the Eagles' recent visits to the Emirates, though, as they've given promising displays against Arsene Wenger's side. Last season, Yannick Bolasie put a dent in Arsenal's title bid, whilst on the opening day of the previous season, it took a last-minute Aaron Ramsey goal to claim the points for the hosts.
Our matchback question this week is a look back at another incredible year in the Premier League. We'd like to know the name of the only forward to have played every game of 2016. As always, we'll reveal the answer later in the show.
"2016 has been a year of great contrast for Leicester City. After capping a remarkable season by lifting the Premier League trophy back in May, the Foxes' defence of their title has stuttered badly throughout the first half of this season. A home defeat to Everton was the latest setback for Claudio Ranieri, whose men have collected fewer points after 18 games than any other defending Premier League champions. Although any hopes of retaining their trophy have slipped away, the Foxes will no doubt want to end the year with a win.
In the dressing room, I think Wes Morgan will be letting the lads know, hold it. I mean, we are champions here. You know, let's not go out with without fighting. You know, don't go out with a whimper. It just doesn't work. Makes you look pretty stupid and weak. And I don't think Leicester City are that. So yeah, they've got big characters in the dressing room, and they want to put a show on for their fans as well.
Leicester's loss to Everton would have been an unwelcome shock to those loyal supporters. Despite their recent poor form, that was just their 3rd defeat at the King Power Stadium since the beginning of last season. Fractures are in danger of appearing in the fortress. West Ham United travelled to the East Midlands in buoyant mood after their comprehensive victory at Swansea. It was just their 2nd away win of the season, with both of them coming against sides currently in the bottom half of the table. Having failed to collect 3 points at an opponent in the top 10, the Hammers may be relieved that their next 2 away games are at Leicester City and at Middlesbrough, who lie 16th and 15th respectively. Despite that seemingly easier run on the road, a manager as pragmatic as Slaven Bilic surely won't underestimate their upcoming opponents.
You've got to be careful not to drop your guard in this Premier League, you know, no matter who you're playing against, because they have the right to be in this Premier League just as much as the big clubs. So Yes, on paper you would expect certain teams to pick up points. West Ham to pick up points if you see that they're playing against a Bournemouth or a Swansea or somebody down there who are struggling. Makes no odds.
Village's men may rely on their strength at set pieces to overcome the Foxes and lengthen their current 3-match winning run. The Hammers have scored a higher percentage of goals from dead ball situations than any other Premier League side. And the recent return of Andy Carroll, who carries a significant aerial presence, will surely add to that threat. He and teammate Michail Antonio are in the Premier League's top 5 for headed goals over the last 5 seasons, despite having played far fewer games than those above them on the list.
Get it up to him, he'll hold it up, he'll flick it on. He'll score his fair share of goals if he gets the supply, which has been lacking of late. And it's just great to get your big names off the treatment bench, which has been a bit of a nightmare for Slaven Bilic. He's had players that he needs, and they've been injured.
If history is anything to go by, West Ham's recent revival will be tested at the home of the champions. The Londoners have lost 18 of their 20 previous away games against Premier League title holders. In order to buck that trend and pick up another 3 points, they'll have to win at Leicester in the top flight for the first time in nearly 17 years. The Hammers held the eventual champions to a draw in the corresponding fixture last season, but Bilic will be eager to go one better for their final game of the year.
The atmosphere will be jumping. It's down to the West Ham players to use it and try and get something from Leicester. I think Leicester will just start to hit some form, which we recognise from last season. So I find it difficult to see West Ham winning the game, but not losing it has got to be their aim.
Tottenham Hotspur's win against Southampton on Wednesday night means that they end 2016 with 71 points, their highest tally in a calendar year during the Premier League era. Troy Deeney's 100th goal for Watford last weekend saw them claim a point against Crystal Palace and move up to 10th. However, they'll be without Miguel Britos after he picked up his 5th yellow card. And suspensions could soon begin to hamper the Hornets' progress, as Walter Mazzari's side have received a league-high 45 cards this campaign. Of the 42 yellows Watford have been shown, defender Jose Holebas has received 8, 2 away from his second ban. Spurs will hope Son Heung-min's goal against Southampton will help him revive the form he showed at the beginning of the season. The South Korean scored 4 times in his opening 3 matches and will hope his latest goal will kickstart another positive run.
Harry Kane's always going to be the main man. I think they're always going to... The other strikers will have to accommodate themselves around him, and whether, I think first and foremost, A, can I get in the team? Yes, great. B, then what does he bring to the team after that? And if they play with that lone striker, then it means that he needs support, but he's not necessarily going to find himself in the positions that Harry Kane possibly would.
Watford are yet to beat Spurs in the Premier League and will be keen to avenge their defeat against them last season. The Hornets thought they'd clinched the draw thanks to Odion Ighalo, but were unable to hold on as Son came off the bench to flick home an 89th minute winner.
As 2016 comes to a close, Manchester United's season is coming to life. During December, Jose Mourinho's side have enjoyed a surge in form, registering 57 shots at goal, 20 of which came in their dominant win over Sunderland on Monday. A growing conviction and swagger has seen the team make up ground on their rivals for a top-4 finish, with Mourinho registering his 4th Premier League win in a row for the first time since April 2015, when he was still enjoying life with Chelsea. Since the bruising loss to his former side back in October, United are unbeaten in 9 Premier League games. And there are signs that Old Trafford is returning to the stronghold it once was, the defeat to Manchester City, their only black mark. But while Manchester United are finding form and the back of the net, the same can't be said for opponents Middlesbrough. Aitor Karanka's side have scored 16 goals so far this season, meaning they've averaged 1 every 101 minutes of Premier League football, the joint second lowest rate among all 20 teams. Borough fans know it's goals that keep sides in the top flight, and they're certainly in need of them if they're going to improve their current run. They've registered 4 Premier League wins so far this season, but just 2 of those in their last 8 fixtures. On the road, their troubles run deeper, as they're without a victory in 8 away games, leaving them just 4 points clear of the relegation zone.
Liverpool and Manchester City extended their winning runs to 3 Premier League games apiece after their victories over Stoke City and Hull City respectively. They both have ground to make up on Chelsea as we approach the halfway point of the season, but are certainly not going to give up on their title aspirations without a fight.
Liverpool have done brilliant. I think the manager's gone in, he's done a great job so far. He's got the whole squad working, when they haven't got the ball, when they've got the ball. And they look really sharp. They've got some really good players. I think Manchester City have probably got the best players, but at the moment, Pep Guardiola's not got them in full top speed. They're like 90%.
If either side want to catch Chelsea, then keeping a tight defence will be key. Only on 3 occasions has a side won the Premier League title, conceding an average of more than 1 goal a game. Both Liverpool and Manchester City have improved at the back in recent weeks, so we'll hope that trend continues. Form against fellow sides at the top is a true test of any club's title credentials, and Liverpool have arguably succeeded so far. Only Chelsea have picked up more points against the other teams in the top 6, though have played 1 more game than the Reds. Klopp's men are the only side yet to suffer defeat against those teams.
It does knock your rivals sideways when you do get them vital wins. Man United were the experts at it when they were winning title after title. They just kept, whoever come up and challenged them, they just beat them. But it is important, and I think the league will take shape now in the next 4 or 5 games. I think it'll all become a bit more clear what's going to happen at the end of the season.
When looking at league form this calendar year, Liverpool find themselves head and shoulders above the rest. No other current top-flight side can better Jurgen Klopp's men when it comes to their attacking threat, as well as seeing more of the ball than any other team in the division since the 1st of January this year. Their record at Anfield has helped that impressive form this season. Liverpool are one of only 2 teams yet to suffer defeat on home soil this term, and have found themselves behind in games for just 31 minutes, the fewest of any side in the top flight. Klopp certainly knows how to get the best out of his players.
He's put in the squad that if they give the ball away, the first person goes and gets it, and the 6 behind go in and follow in. They push right up. Sometimes it can cost them goals, because if you slip through that press, you can get straight to their back 4, and that's why they've conceded quite a few goals.
Hoping to breach that Liverpool backline is likely to be Manchester City's Yaya Toure. The Ivorian didn't feature in the early part of the season, but has started 5 of City's last 7 league games, all of which they went on to win. His involvement in matches has helped Manchester City average more touches of the ball this term than ever before since such data was recorded in this division. They'll need to be at their best against Liverpool, who'll prove a tough test for Pep Guardiola, a hugely successful and experienced coach who now knows just how competitive this league can be.
He's finding out that the Premier League's different to all the other leagues he's worked in, because the bottom team can beat the top team at any point. And they don't give him as much respect in our league. You've got to be able to get it forward and compete on some days, and you've got to be able to pass the ball on other days, which they're brilliant at when it all goes right.
Manchester City will make the short trip to Liverpool, knowing they have a disappointing record at Anfield in the Premier League. The citizens have won just once when playing there, that victory coming back in May 2003. Goals could be expected, as there's never been a goalless draw when these sides have met at Anfield in the competition. The last meeting there saw the home side score 3 unanswered goals, with Adam Lallana, James Milner and Roberto Firmino finding the net. Klopp will be looking for more of the same.
After holding out until the 72nd minute against Manchester City last time out, Hull City fell to their 12th loss of the season and are now without a win in 7 games. Opponents Everton put an end to their recent torrid away form by claiming their first victory on the road since September with a win at Leicester City. But if Ronald Koeman's side are to build some momentum away from Goodison Park, they'll need to tighten their defence, as they've conceded 14 goals on their travels, a growing concern for the Toffees as their tally is significantly higher than the 9 they chipped at this stage of last season. Even though his side are struggling, Sam Klukas has shone for the Tigers in his first Premier League campaign. The midfielder has made more tackles than any of his teammates and has been just as influential on the ball, completing their joint highest number of dribbles.
I think Sam Clucas is a superb player. I saw him way back when he was playing for Chesterfield, and he's worked his way up through the leagues. I think in one game I saw that he'd played up front, right back and in midfield, so it goes to show that he's got a real aptitude for playing wherever a manager wants to put him. I've seen him play wide for Hull, I've seen him play in the centre of midfield for Hull. He looks very comfortable on the ball, he's got the energy and the athleticism to play in the Premier League.
The team's two previous meetings at the KCOM Stadium have both finished 2-0, with the sides claiming a victory each. In May 2014, goals from James McCarthy and Romelu Lukaku gave the Toffees the points, but the following season Hull got their revenge, former Everton man Nikita Jelavic punishing his old club on New Year's Day.
Scoring at St Mary's Stadium has been an issue for Claude Puel's Southampton side. Their solitary goal in the loss to Tottenham Hotspur on Wednesday was only their 9th on home turf this season. A long-term injury to top goal scorer Charlie Austin won't improve matters either. An unwelcome statistic as 9 teams below them in the Premier League table have scored more at their respective grounds. Despite that lack of goals, narrow home victories combined with just 2 defeats in their last 7 games overall has kept them in the top half. Southampton must now pick themselves up and get ready for their second of 3 games over a period of 6 days as they feel the force of a busy fixture schedule. Their opponents have been known to frustrate sides this season, but West Bromwich Albion head coach Tony Pulis has been frustrated by what he calls his team's déjà vu defeats. This term they've conceded 8 goals in the final 15 minutes, and much like in the defeats to Chelsea and more recently Arsenal, it's cost them valuable points after battling for the majority of the match. The Baggies have lost their last 2, while also failing to score in consecutive league matches for the first time since September. Despite some fine performances in recent weeks, which has seen them push for a European place, their away form will certainly need to improve, as they've only picked up 2 victories on their travels.
Earlier in the programme, we asked the identity of the only forward to have played in every Premier League game during 2016. The answer is Watford striker Troy Deeney. He's had an impressive 12 months, appearing in all 37 matches this calendar year, scoring 11 goals along the way.
Turf Moor continues to be a fortress for Burnley after they picked up their 6th home win of the season and now boast the 5th best home record in the league in this campaign. Their opponent Sunderland will look to bounce back after defeat to Manchester United, but could move out of the drop zone if they pick up 3 points on Saturday. With goals hard to come by for both sides, their fullbacks have provided an attacking threat. Matthew Loughton has created the most chances for his team, while Patrick Van Aanholt has been pivotal for Sunderland, as Jermaine Defoe is their only player to be directly involved in more goals.
You think when the two come up against each other, it's going to make for quite an interesting battle, be it 2 teams that do rely on attacking from those types of areas, and I think the stat of him being, with only Jermaine Defoe being involved in more goals, is quite telling, because especially last season, he looked, Patrick Van Aanholt, all at sea from a defensive point of view, but looks really solid come the end of the season.
If David Moyes' side are to climb out of the relegation zone, they'll need to find their feet quicker, as they've only managed 3 goals in the first half of a game this season. A worrying sign for the Black Cats, as they're one of only 2 sides yet to find the net within the opening 15 minutes. Sunderland travelled to Turf Moor for only the 3rd time in the Premier League and have been unable to beat the Clarets on both previous visits. It was a memorable day for Burnley in September 2009 as they claimed their 3rd ever Premier League win thanks to a second-half brace from substitute David Nugent.
The final round of matches in 2016 starts with Everton heading to Hull on Friday, while 7 games take place on the last day of the year. Leaders Chelsea host Stoke, champions Leicester look to end their remarkable 12 months with a win over West Ham. The new year kicks off with Tottenham travelling to Watford, Crystal Palace go to Arsenal. It's been a memorable year in the Premier League with plenty of new faces and a few familiar ones returning. 2016 saw West Ham say farewell to their beloved ground after 112 years of heart-on-sleeve triumph and trauma. Arsene Wenger completed 20 years at Arsenal, a duration of one club unlikely to be repeated. The year saw the 25,000th Premier League goal scored by Ibrahimovic. As for wins, Chelsea led the way with 22. So, who will be the stars of 2017, following in the steps of the unheralded and fabulous Foxes of Leicester City, who did the apparently impossible? From Dave Farrer, me, John Champion, and the rest of the team, goodbye.